Yeah, I know, I usually have an introduction before every tier list video, but I don't want to spoil Red John's identity, but this video is for the ones who do know, so I mean, without further ado, let's just dive right into it. The tiers are pretty simple. We have they kill Red John, 50-50, it'll take some time, and easy kill. And starting off this tier list right, we have Dexter Morgan. Now I'm sure as all of my Dexter fans know, Dexter has dealt with killers who manipulate people and killers who build identities around being untouchable, like the ice truck killer from season 1 or in season 7 with Isaac Serco and his Brotherhood. Dexter has been around this kind of pressure before, but the problem is that Red John is not just, a normal serial killer Dexter can follow up after work. Red John has loyal followers, law enforcement ties, and the ability to make people disappear before Dexter even knows who he's really dealing with. But Dexter's biggest advantage is that Red John would underestimate him. Red John's whole thing is reading people and figuring out what makes them break. With Dexter, that is dangerous because Dexter does not react like a normal person at all. I mean, you guys have seen the POV clips with Dexter with no inner monologue. So Red John would kind of just think he's autistic, really. And if Dexter ever gets enough evidence to narrow down Red John's identity, it is completely over. Dexter is better in hand-to-hand combat, and he's really good at stalking people, and he's much more direct once he knows who the target is. And I wholeheartedly believe if Dexter finds out who he is done. But I don't know if he for sure could kill Red John, because think about it. If Red John knows that Dexter's coming after him, I think he's cooked. But if Red John doesn't know he's coming after him, then Red John is cooked. That's why it's kind of a 50-50. And next we have Jack Reacher. This is one of those matchups where Red John better hope Reacher never gets close. Now Reacher is not a serial killer, but he has a body count and he is absolutely a predator when he is hunting someone. He is not just a mindless brute who's big as hell, he really reads people and the situation down to a T. If Red John tries to send someone after him, Reacher could probably reverse engineer the situation and start pulling the thread. And of course, everyone that Red John sends after Reacher will 100% die. I don't think anyone in his inner circle has enough feats to even beat Reacher. And once Reacher starts pulling the thread, dude, he does not stop. Like, once he's in an investigation, he genuinely will not stop. Like, he does not care about social consequences at all. But the issue is Red John's secrecy. Reacher is great when there is a physical trail, but Red John is not always reachable through normal force. So this becomes a question of whether Reacher can get close before Red John uses the system actually against him. Because even though Reacher might not be scared of the system, he can still get arrested. So again, I would have to put it in 50-50. Next we have the Trinity Killer. Arthur Mitchell is a legendary serial killer in the Dexter world. He has stayed active for decades, built a normal family image, and fooled everybody for a very long time. But compared to Red John, Trinity is just way more limited than him. Now Trinity is dangerous because of his routine. Like, he basically just did the same thing for years on years with no real challenge against other serial killers. But the first real time Trinity actually had a challenge in his whole career, I guess if you can even say serial killing is a career, he went up against Dexter. So against Red John, this is just, a complete beatdown. Like, if Trinity couldn't handle one serial killer, but against all of Red John's followers, then, on top of trying to solve his identity and kill him, the Trinity Killer just gets killed easily by Red John. Next, we have Ghostface, but for this we're going to do Billy and Stu. Now I know what you're saying. Oh dude, this is going to be an easy kill 100%. For some odd reason, I can very clearly see Red John not even killing them at all. I can see Red John manipulating Billy and Stu into becoming part of his circle. Maybe not full hardcore cult followers in the same way some of his most loyal people are, but at very least I could see him forming some kind of alliance with them and slowly turning them into pawns. And you might ask, why would Billy and Stu ever follow Red John? People forget that Billy did not just wake up one day and decide to create the Woodsboro murders completely out of nowhere. Roman Bridger was the one who pushed Billy into that direction. Roman basically handed him the match and watched them burn everything down. So if Roman Bridger could manipulate them, then 100% Red John could. But if we're talking about if it's an easy kill or not, well, 100%. but dare I even say it, I would kind of put Billy and Stu over Arthur Mitchell. I mean, just because they actually went up against people. Next we have Anton Chigurh. Red John's usual psychological torture that he does on basically every one of his victims and a lot of people that are trying to come after him would not really work on Anton the same way, as I just said, it works on his normal victims. Because Anton does not really have the same emotional pressure points, nor does he have really anything to lose at all. If Anton is just dropped into the Mentalist universe and told to survive Red John, I think he survives for a long time because, he is too careful. Any follower Red John sends after him, kind of just like Jack Reacher, is just going to get erased off the map easily. Now for Red John, I think it'll just take some time because the hardest part would just be killing him. I don't think Anton really would be the detective to find out who Red John actually is. That's why I just think Red John will just kill him eventually. Next we have Light Yagami. Now, say what you want about Light Yagami, he still won in the end against L, even though L had no idea he was dealing with the supernatural aspect of the Death Note, or let alone he didn't even know that the supernatural existed, period. And I have L way above Red John. Well, maybe not way above, but yeah, I have him above Red John. And since L always knew that, Kira was light, he could never get enough concrete proof, and Red John is definitely not getting concrete proof. And the reason why he needs concrete proof is because imagine he just kills a kid for no reason. What he's gonna say, oh, Light Yagami was just trying to come after me, guys. He was actually Kira, by the way. Now I know he could just frame a kill, but I mean, sure, but against Light Yagami, I don't think you're even gonna kill him anyway. I feel like this is just he just kills Red John. Eventually, I feel like he would. Next, we have Hannibal Lecter. Now, Hannibal is not Patrick Jane, but he is just as dangerous, just in a different way. Red John loves manipulating people, but Hannibal manipulates manipulators. And in fact, he actually loves it. Probably way more than Red John does. If Hannibal ever came in contact with Red John in real life and he didn't know that was Red John, he would immediately know, okay, that is for sure a serial killer, and that definitely might be Red John. Because Hannibal's actually done that in his TV show. He can spot a serial killer just by talking to them off their first conversation. And the thing is, Hannibal does not need legal proof that that is Red John. Sure, he would try to probably get concrete proof for himself. Hannibal is just going to straight kill Red John. He doesn't care about any of that legality. And Hannibal is also much better at hiding his true self in elite spaces. Now, Red John hides behind power, but Hannibal moves through power comfortably. He can charm pretty much everybody. Law enforcement, doctors, rich people, investigators, literally everybody. So Hannibal, yeah, I'm honest, I think he kills Red John. Next we have Arthur Morgan. Now this one is entirely based on what time period this fight takes place in. I'm sure as all of you know, Arthur Morgan is not based in the modern world as we are in 2026. He's based in 1899. So if you put Arthur in the Mentalist universe, actually the Mentalist wasn't in 2026, but you know what I mean. If you put Arthur Morgan in the Mentalist universe, I don't really think he finds out who Red John is with all this modern technology. I feel like we can all just genuinely agree on that. And he wouldn't get any prep time, he would just be plopped into the universe. This is how kind of these battles go. So for that, we have to flip it into 1899. And for that, I say 100% yes, he definitely could. Because this is where Red John would start to lose control. In the modern world, Red John can stay distant. But in 1899, distance is much harder to maintain. It's not like you can text somebody to go do your bidding. No, messages move really slow. In fact, if you want to send a message, you have to send a letter, and that gets delivered on horse. And also, since we're in a very small town, people talk, and small towns remember strangers. So Arthur does not need a computer to investigate someone in that time period because, that is literally the kind of world he understands, whereas Red John would just not. So for this is genuinely a 50-50. Next we have Mr. Robot. Now Elliot is not really a killer in the traditional sense, but he is absolutely dangerous because, his weapon is information, and he's a hacker. This is one of the few characters here who could attack Red John without needing to physically reach him first, because Elliot could hack into police records, communication patterns, hidden accounts, burner phones, deleted files, literally anything you name it, he could hack into it. And Red John's organization would definitely have a digital footprint somewhere. It's impossible not to have one at all. Of course it wouldn't be easy or anything, but there would just be something that Elliot could use to prove that that is Red John. If he somehow finds finds out about Elliot, he could use his trauma or his fragile grip on reality, and he could make Elliot spiral really badly. And this is where this matchup becomes very dangerous, because if Elliot can go undetected, I definitely feel like he could beat Red John, but kill him himself, could he kill him? I don't think he could kill him. So this is why I have to just give it to 50-50. And last but not least, we have Joe Goldberg. I genuinely just can't give him any higher than it'll take some time. Now, Joe Goldberg knows how to get out of situations really slippery, so I will give it to him. It will definitely take Red John some time, but I do not see a world where he ever kills him. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below.